Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello, and welcome to the Town Home Podcast, a podcast brought to you by The Wheel. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, he's breathing in the chemicals. Whoa. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how you doing today?
Trying to get my chair situated properly.
Yeah. Hey, you want to hear an anecdote about what happened to me today? Well, I don't know why I said it like that.
An anecdote? Antidote?
Anecdote? Anyways.
Antidote, yep.
You want to hear a story?
Sure.
I was pulling out of my driveway today to go do work, and it was, I don't know, 11 degrees, and my tires caught on ice. They spun, caught, my car lurched to the side. I caught the edge of a light pole and knocked my entire bumper off.
Oh, shit. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's a bumper. It just shredded the housings, knocked both of my headlights out of their sockets. So I'm looking at either going to buy a new car or pay $3,000 in body work to get that fixed.
It's a lot for that car.
It's a lot for that car. I don't know if that car's worth $3,000.
I don't know. Yeah.
So that was my day.
You said it slid like on ice?
Yeah, it just like wheel spun, caught the ice, and ripped into
Black
a pole.
ice?
Yeah. No, it was white ice.
No. Statistics don't say that.
Fox News is always talking about black ice on black ice violence in Chicago. Statistics.
That's crazy, dude. I'm glad you're okay though.
How could I not be okay? Like, what would have had to go wrong for me to back out of my driveway and get injured?
I don't know.
Didn't
Slam
that guy
into
from
a
the Star
light
Trek
pole.
movie?
Light pole falls over.
Hits my neighbor. My neighbor comes out and shoots me. Yeah.
That's also a possibility.
I thought that seems more likely, you know, with all the like, gun crime in Chicago. So how you doing, bud?
A little sleepy.
We got a cat featured on the podcast right now.
See, Trayvon Diggs got released.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What was your favorite Trayvon Diggs on the Bills? Memory? What team was he on? Ravens? Packers. What was your favorite Trayvon Diggs on the Packers? Memory?
Just laughing about it when they signed him.
How many pick sixes did he have on the Packers?
None.
None?
Nigh a pick six, my friend.
You think he's gonna go sign with Jeff Hafley over in Miami?
Maybe. Is that supposed to be Nay a pick six?
Nary.
Nary a pick six. There it is.
Well, I guess we're jumping right into the football of it all, Mike. So let's talk some football here. You want to start off with talking about NFL or college?
Surprise me. I'll close my eyes.
Okay, I'm waiting for him to close his eyes because the screen's delayed, and I'm pulling my dick out. Wow, he's really waiting for this. Let's go with college. Let's start with college.
Okay.
Start with college because that makes sense. In life, you start with college and then go to the NFL. Very few people start with the NFL and then go to college.
College basketball, apparently you can go to the G League, then go back to college.
go play in the NFL for 15 years and go back to college. Can't wait for LeBron James' time in college. He's got eligibility. He never played, right?
Yeah.
Do you think LeBron James at USC can have a better season right now than Bronny James did there in his 2 seasons?
Ooh. Probably.
Mike, the natty happened, as you fucking degenerate losers call it. I, as a mature adult man, call it the national championship.
The nasty natty.
The college football annual national championship. In the national championship, South Carolina State won 40-38 over Prairie View A&M. Stubblefield, the quarterback, as we all know, for South Carolina State, 15 for 29, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And in a heroic losing effort, Peters for Prairie View A&M, 24 for 36, 4 touchdowns. 5 total touchdowns, including a rushing one.
Funny.
Am I funny?
What is that? Was that the FCS championship?
That was the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
Oh, okay. I was like, I've never heard of those teams. Well, I've heard of them, but I had no idea they were.
So, the Hoosiers of Indiana,
they're called.
went 27-21 on the back of the best pass of the night that a Miami quarterback threw to an Indiana defensive back.
Mm-hmm.
Fernando Mendoza wins national championship MVP. If they had one, I assume he would. Despite the fact that he threw for 0 touchdowns.
But he had the moment.
For 1 touchdown. Are we
One of the
concerned?
greatest touchdowns.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Are we concerned that Fernando Mendoza is only going to be a rushing quarterback in the show? Is he like a Riley Leonard type quarterback? Like, can he not throw? Can someone explain to me why in the national championship he went 16 for 27 for less than 200 yards and no touchdowns?
Yeah, it wasn't great. He was definitely stifled some, but Miami was a good matchup for Indiana. I think a lot of us kind of saw that going in.
Really? Because I seem to recall you saying that you believed Miami would only win 10 out of 100 games.
Yeah. I thought that the way Indiana was playing, and if Mendoza was as locked in as he had been, then it, like the areas where Miami matched up well just really wouldn't matter. And hey, Indiana still won. All right, so
they did. And they don't ask how. They ask how many.
So I'm already up 1-0. We just got to run it 99 more times. All right. See how that lands. But I thought Mendoza played well. Not a flashy performance. He didn't make any grave mistakes. He obviously had the one big run, which he needed because it brought his rushing total to -8 yards when you include sacks.
And 0 sacks for Ruben Bain. Isn't it interesting?
Interesting. The sacks.
It's interesting. The sacks.
I have Bain having 1 sack.
Yeah, no. I didn't count. I was just trying to. If I was right throwing out that take, it would have been sick.
And Akeem Messidor has 2. Keep in mind, though, those are PFF numbers, and they don't consider half sacks to be a thing, so I could be off a little bit. I forgot where I was going now. You stifled me.
I've stifled you, just like Miami's defense stifled Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, and pretty much the Hoosiers. Like, it was weird. The first half, I felt like the Hoosiers were moving the ball pretty well, and at times it felt like they were, but they really didn't get much. Like, they didn't have a single. Kaelon Black put up 79 and averaged 4.6, but their other back, Hemby, averaged only 3.2. Like, they didn't really blow it up there. Mendoza was, once again, looked very human, like we said. There was a lot of those. Indiana loves to run these back shoulder contested catches that they've just been hitting on all year. And Miami Hurricanes were able to break some of those up. A big thing was the second half when they got, what was his name? The corner's name. I can't remember who it is now, but it was the guy who got called for targeting in the game against Ole Miss. And so he had to miss the first half. And there was a big difference because when he came back in, that was definitely a big turnaround. I will give props to Miami because I didn't think they'd be able to actually put up the points that they did. Mark Fletcher proved me wrong and was a dog. But in the end, it was kind of like Miami's expected weakness offensively was what ended the game for them.
Which was Carson Beck throwing interceptions?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Like, in the history of the college football playoff format, going back to 2014, where does this rank? Roughly where does this rank in terms of national championship games?
I was going to say, Illinois State played the Montana State Bobcats in the FCS championship game. So what you started with confused the fuck out of me anyway. Where would this rank in the annals of national championship games?
Uh-huh.
We talking playoff era? We talking...
Yeah, playoff era, 2014 on. Hence why I started the question by saying in the history of the college football playoff.
This one definitely stands out as one of the best ones. I don't know if it hits the level that the Bama-Georgia game did, where Tua came in the second half and led that comeback. And yeah, Tagovailoa came in and led that comeback. They won it in overtime when he took, like, I think it was on third down. The one thing he couldn't do was take a sack, and he took like the ugliest sack possible, and on 4th and forever threw a game-winning touchdown. And I remember I stood up and I said, that man's going to be a great NFL quarterback one day.
And you were proven correct, I believe.
Yeah,
I haven't checked. I haven't watched the NFL in a few years, but I believe you were right. I just remember the last time I saw him, he scored 70 against the Broncos.
Yeah, like last year's game, like between Notre Dame and Ohio State was pretty boring for 3 quarters, and then Notre Dame put on like this little, made this comeback run to make it interesting. But yeah,
2023.
Michigan, Washington, nah.
That was a 34-13 Michigan win. And I'm not going to keep pulling these up, so you can just tell me if you think that there's any other notable ones since 2014.
I mean, in recent memory, those 2 that I named dropped are kind of the biggest ones. I think everything else was just usually relatively one-sided for most of the game, not like this one. This one really came to life in the second half where Miami was able to start moving the ball and putting up points. So it was a good. We got a block punt tutty. We got, fucking 4th down, 4th and 5, rolling the dice with a QB draw call. We got an iconic picture of Mendoza stretching across the goal line like a dog. Good stuff.
Let's see here. You know what has happened in the history of college football is really annoying?
What?
There has been too many national championships. God damn it. Let's see. How did you feel about 65-7 Georgia over TCU? You think it's better or worse than that game?
Dude, I remember that TCU team. They probably shouldn't have been there.
What was your first clue? When they lost 65-7 to Georgia?
That was pretty brutal.
There has been like almost no one-score games. Overtime, Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah, that was a nice talk
2017. About. Yeah, that's one you were talking about. Clemson, Alabama, 35-31 the year before.
Yeah.
Before that, Alabama, Clemson, 45-40.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the Alabama,
those
the Alabama
ones were
trilogy, and then in 2018, Clemson blew the doors off Alabama. But the Alabama trilogy looks pretty good, and then basically this game and all the other games were terrible.
Yeah.
This is your favorite sport. You're not going to defend them?
It is. No, I think it's a great sport. I mean, not everybody has. I mean, you act like every Super Bowl is a nail biter.
Everyone has been.
No. I'm not sure if you watched last year's Super Bowl. But
the next year's game is being played in Minnesota in January. How do you feel about that?
Minnesota.
Any thoughts?
I don't think the Golden Gophers are going to be hosting. I got to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to make it.
It's actually being played in Nevada.
In Nevada?
In Nevada.
Oh, where the Raiders play?
Yeah, Allegiant. Not where UNLV plays, where they could seat 11 people.
How dare you?
How dare me? How dare you? Mike, Fernando Mendoza, as we all discussed, played exceptionally poorly in these playoffs. Do you think he's still a lock for the number 1 seed?
Yeah, he's a lock.
Who else, if you were drafting today and you had to take someone who isn't Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall, who would you take?
Probably Ruben Baines.
How could you not say Caleb Downs? I gave you all the runway in the world.
Well, I'm factoring in what the NFL, like positional value in the NFL.
I gave you so much space. You could have taken space. Said Caleb Downs, and I couldn't have argued because I asked you who you would take.
I didn't take the bait.
You didn't.
I was trying to do like a actual like, oh, this is what NFL teams would do. If it wasn't Mendoza, it would probably be Bain. I think it should be Caleb Downs. I think he's one of the best players, if not the best player in this draft.
Well, we know he's the best player now because Fernando Mendoza played like dog ass. So,
oh, see that run? See that one run?
I'm just saying, Tua could have made that run.
No, Tua would have broken into pieces. He would have gotten like 2 concussions during the play.
Why does he not wear a Guardian cap?
I don't know. Why doesn't he put himself in bubble wrap when he goes out there? I don't know, man.
Shouldn't he be like the number 1 seed to put a Guardian cap on?
You think they chased him around, try to force him to wear one? Yeah, well, cool.
That's why Mike McDaniel got tossed out of town. He kept trying to put him on when Tua was sleeping, and Tua was like, "It's him or me." Like final,
but you as well. You're not going to be here much longer. Right?
Yeah, neither. We're going neither. Thank you for asking, Tua.
Yeah.
I got 2 more questions for you. One, because I don't care about college football. Give me like 2 or 3 names, other risers and fallers from this game.
Risers and fallers. I will say that I mentioned him earlier, Mark Fletcher. I think he might be back next year, but I wasn't really.
Like Texas?
I must say I wasn't. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I wasn't familiar with this game, but like I didn't give it as much respect as I guess it needed. He's like 6'6", 230. Well, Derrick
Jesus.
Henry. Yeah.
Derrick Henry ain't 6'6".
No, he's not. Did I say 6'6"? Is it 6'6" or is it 6'5"? Not important.
Derrick Henry's 6'3".
Really? Is Mark Fletcher actually 6'6"? Let's find out. A name that I think everybody's been talking about that I'm interested to see what draft scouts will think of him is D'Angelo Pons. Oh, I'm sorry, 6'2".
Okay, that's very different.
I knew 6'6" didn't sound right in my head. I was like, "There's no way he's that tall."
That's because you're used to hearing 6'7".
My mic. I'm really interested to see what teams think of D'Angelo Pons because he is awesome, but he is small. He's like 5'9".
Does that mean he's actually 5'5"?
I know, I was about to say, actually, I guess I should double check myself on that one too.
I like how, if you look at Indiana's rushing on ESPN,
5'9".
If you look at Indiana's rushing on ESPN, it puts it in order of team rushing yards. And so for the team, I'm sorry, wait, what is this stat? It just says team, but it appears to be a player who ran one time for -1 yards on Indiana.
I've seen that before, and I don't know. Is that the kneel down?
No, because maybe does college football count the kneel down as a team rushing stat instead of? Oh, you know what? I think that's a recent change in the NFL too.
Yeah, it might be.
This is like how jacking it. That was a terrible way to start that sentence. How throwing up a 3-pointer at the end of the clock, like at like the heave. I can't believe I started with jacking it. How the heave at the end of the quarters now no longer counts as an individual miss. This country's gotten so soft.
Soft ass country.
It counts as a team field goal miss instead of an individual. We used to be a real country. We used to make steel.
I think we still do somewhere. Oh, that's why we want Greenland. We're just gonna make steel there.
It's the Steel Island is what they call it.
Yeah, so we're gonna call it Steel Land.
My other question for you, Mike. Oh, did you have more?
Good.
Carson Beck, riser, Carson Beck rising up boards. Carson Beck, number 1 pick.
I don't think so. I was just gonna say because I meant to say this about Mark Fletcher before I realized I'm an idiot and thought he was 6'6". He had 112 on the day. Was the first running back this year to get over 100 on Indiana. So, pretty impressive.
You think Cignetti's gonna be thinking about that all year?
Probably.
Yeah. That's it. Cignetti, they're gonna try to hand him the championship, and he's just gonna be walking in a fugue state, thinking about giving up 100 yards on the last game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
My other question for you, Mike: have you looked at the championship odds for 2027 for the Natty?
I have not.
Well, let's play a quick game of Guess the Line, sponsored by Uber Eats.
Is it? Uber. Good job by you.
Mike, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that I'm going to ask you about. I don't know why I counted like that. There's like 700 teams listed. You want to try to guess Eastern Michigan's odds? You want to guess Eastern Michigan's national championship odds?
You can make yourself
the bottom team that I can find on here is Delaware. Mike, see if you can give me the top 6 in order on the FanDuel Guess the Lines National Championship sponsored by Uber Eats.
Top 6? I have to do it in order?
No, just give me the top 6.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can do it in order if you want. You'll get extra points for that.
No. It's not necessary. I'm going to say Ohio State.
Ohio State is number 1 at plus 650. Actually, they're tied for number 1 with someone who's very close to my heart.
Texas?
Texas is 4th at plus 750.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think Texas is close to my heart?
I thought you were being sarcastic.
Oh. You think I hate Texas? If it was a team I hated, it would just be Fernando Mendoza.
I'm going to ignore the close to your heart thing 'cause it's throwing me off now. But I know Notre Dame's in there.
Okay, going Notre Dame?
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame is tied for 1st at plus 650.
Let's go. CJ Carr, baby. About to take the world by storm.
It's pronounced Stroud. His name is CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Or Derek Carr.
Texas is 4th.
Oh, no, that's a terrible sign for him. His name is jammed together of CJ Stroud and Derek Carr.
Or maybe it's actually the perfect two halves to make the ultimate quarterback.
What halves of C.J. Stroud and Derek Carr do you want there, Mike? The injuries, the inability to run, the turnovers.
All right, so I need 2 more teams, right?
3 more.
3 more teams.
You've
Oregon.
guessed 3 out of 6. Oregon is 6th. Or 5th. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oregon is 5th. Plus
I just got to get number 6, right?
You got to get number 6 and number 3.
Oh.
You have Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas, and Oregon.
I don't think they would have put. Well, Indiana's probably in there somewhere, right?
Indiana is 3rd at plus 700.
3rd. Okay, there you go. We'll go to this last one, and I'm going to go ahead, and I have 2 teams in mind, but I'm going to say Georgia.
Georgia is correct. Plus 1,100. Congratulations, Mike. You got Guess the Line, sponsored by Uber Eats, in 6 guesses.
What do I win?
Nothing. You would have gotten bonus points if you'd done them in order, but you didn't get shit. You didn't do shit.
The Midwest is just taking over college football.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but we have all the hot chicks here, so.
Basically. Got all them big bone women.
Yeah, it's all big bone hot chicks, and no one has any front bumpers. That's
Yep.
Chicago for you. Mike, as a bonus round, give me the top 3 for Heisman odds, and then we'll move on.
Top 3 for Heisman odds?
Uh-huh.
Shit.
And I'll tell you this. I'll just, to give you a hint.
CJ Carr.
Julian Lewis is not in the top 3.
Yeah, CJ Carr.
CJ Carr is number 1, plus 800.
Arch Manning.
Arch Manning, number 2 at plus 850.
And let's just say Julian Sand.
Julian Sand is number 4.
Oh!
Okay, to be honest with you, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 players all tied for 3rd, and Julian Sand is one of them, but he's listed 4th, so you don't get no credit.
Okay.
Number 3
is it a quarterback?
Is Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's why I asked, is it a quarterback?
Tied with Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sand are Josh Hoover and Dante Moore.
It's going to be the new QB at Indiana.
Josh Hoover is?
Just Hoover, yeah, from TCU.
They get that guy from Duke that's getting sued by Duke.
I know, college football is such a fun sport to follow right now. Schools suing players.
It's just, it's what's-his-face Ace Attorney. That's all it is. That's just what college football is now.
Yeah.
What's his name? Anime face Ace Attorney?
Yeah, all the memes.
Sure, there's a lot of memes. Jojo Rabbit, Ace Attorney?
Let's just go with Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. Mike, move from something you love to something you hate. The Buffalo Bills have been eliminated from the NFL playoffs in tragic fashion, all due to Bo Nix getting sympathy with the refs by breaking his ankle. I want to run a quick postmortem here. We're not going to spend too much time on it because we're a little behind the 8 ball on talking about it. And also, who wants to talk about sad things? Let's only talk about happy things. Like, that one is for sure getting cut from the podcast. That was just for you, Mike.
Thanks. VIP. All access.
So I want to start with this here. First off, do you want to make your case on why that was a catch and not an interception? For those of you who don't know, down the stretch in overtime, Josh Allen, who played poorly, like that's worth negotiating at some point. He had a bad game, but in a particularly decent throw by him, he throws downfield to Brandon Cooks in stride, who catches it at the same time. I think it was Jahdae Barron or maybe McMillan. One of the defensive back. Yeah, defensive back comes over. They basically get possession of the ball at the same time, roll through. Depending on how you rule possession, it should have, to the quick viewing audience, it could have either been an incompletion, an interception, or a catch. All 3 had a case.
So, to correct that retelling, Brandon Cooks had possession, and McMillan had his hands, I guess you could say, in there on the ball. Cooks comes down with the ball in his possession. His knee goes down. His arm goes down. McMillan comes down on top of him. They roll, and as they roll, McMillan rips it away from him, and they deem that's an interception. So it's not, in my opinion. No one will be able to convince me otherwise. If someone wants to go skim the last 3 years of football and find a few examples where that exact same thing happened and they called it that way, then be my guest, and I will take the evidence into consideration. But that was bullshit. That was a bad call. And I will say,
I will
like
say.
you said, it's been like
I will say.
3 days since this, so
Everyone's using the Devontae Adams catch the next day as the evidence.
it's different. A little bit.
It's different. It's different. It's different. That's not a good example. Like, I'm sure we could find prime examples where two people catch it at the same time and they award it to someone, and I'm sure Twitter has found plenty of them. But the Devontae Adams catch is a bad example. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Mike. That's all I'm saying.
So
but let's. Okay.
Can I just? I know, like it's been 3 days, so I've tried to let this go, the bad officiating, all that stuff. So I just want to say two quick things, and then we can move on from all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, I try to avoid bitching too much about refereeing and bad calls, because like you can't change it. Like even if tomorrow the NFL came out and we're like, you know what, those refs got every call in that game wrong. It's not like they're all of a sudden going to be like, well, I guess we got to play the game again then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's done. But my only argument is I talked to you about this the other day when you were in town. I just want consistency in NFL officiating. So much of it's subjective. They're calling shit the way they want to call it when they call it. It doesn't even have to be week-to-week consistency. I just want a full game of consistency from these refs. And whatever they got to do to get there, that would be nice, because we can't go a single week without one game, the entire storyline being, did the refs fuck this up? Did the refs give this team the win? And no one likes to talk about that. And my other thing is, we need to get rid of, let's go to our rules analyst,
You hate the rules analyst?
Dick douchebag, so he can chime in and go, yeah, I agree with the refs. Thanks. Great analysis. That's all they do now.
That is.
They give nothing to society.
I like it when they put them between the color guy and the play-by-play guy and cut to the booth, and it's just like 5'1" Dean Blandino sitting between 6'1" Troy Aikman and 6'6" Troy Aikman and 6'1" Joe Buck. And it just looks like they hired a little person to make the two guys look bigger. I like that. I like when they do that.
Yeah. I also
That's
like the
fun.
idea that it's just like the idea that a guy like, for example, like Romo, who played the game forever, for a long ass time, follows it. It's his job to watch it and call it and analyze it. Plus, Nance, who's been doing this forever and has watched it with football, they aren't equipped to be like, that was holding. They have to be like, Gene Steratore, what do you think?
It makes sense. Maybe once a Sunday during the regular season to have the rules analyst in there.
Rule.
It'll be a weird rule, like especially early in the season with all the kickoff stuff. Like there was a time early in, it might have been the overtime game that went to a tie between Green Bay and Dallas, where there was a time after a penalty that it made sense to kick it out of bounds, and they had the rules analyst come in and correct that. And I simply think this should be a, like, you know when like there's a kid who's like 4 inches bigger than everyone, so they have him play permanent quarterback when you play like two-hand touch? Like there should be a permanent rules analyst, like a guy that just sits in a room with all the screens, and they go to him when the rule is weird. We don't need a different one on every broadcast. We don't need a different one on every network. Just have one guy. And make it Hawknally so we can see his biceps again.
I'd be fine with that.
I also feel like Hawknally wouldn't fuck around, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they'll get, you know, like, I don't know, whoever your least favorite rules analyst is in there, and they'll be like, yeah, you know, so you see his knee touches and then his other knee touches, and you can see this girl in the background, she's doing the YMCA, and it's like, all right, just get to the point, bud. Just tell me, is it a catch? Is it not a catch? I feel like Hawknally, they'd be like, hey, we got Ed Hawknally in here. We just want to know, was that intentional grounding? He would go, yep.
Well,
all right, back to the broadcast. I have a question for you in this rundown. We'll get to that later. That's a part of a bigger conversation we're going to have later. But let's talk about the teams from divisional weekend, which I keep calling it that in other sports, and that is not what it is called. We're going to go through each team and ask and solve one question about them. I thought you were about to do curls. I thought you were going really in on the Hawknally bit there for a second. Now you just had an iced tea? Is it an iced tea?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it from?
Work.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Good point. I have a regular coffee that I had to put an ice cube in because I burnt my mouth and it hurt too much to drink.
Burnt your mouth? Totaled your car? God, what a rough day.
Yeah, right? And now this podcast is going terribly.
Is it?
No, it's going fine. I just knew that would bother you. Let's start off with the now eliminated Houston Texans. And my question for you about Houston, who lost to the much beloved New England Patriots, everyone's favorite up-and-coming success story. This team, Mike, they've dwelled at the basement of this league for almost 4 years. And who's not rooting for them to really power through and get to the top of the table finally?
Yeah.
Can you imagine a little 4-year-old fan who was born after Tom Brady was on Tampa Bay, who's never seen this team win a Super Bowl, Mike?
Oh, I feel so bad for them.
I feel so bad for them. But Houston loses 28-16 to the New England Patriots. My question for you, coming off perhaps his worst playoff performance, is CJ Stroud fixable? Now, he had no wide receivers for this game. His 2 favorite targets, Nico Collins was already out with a concussion from last week. And then tight end Dalton Schultz went out in the second quarter. By the way, Dalton Schultz went out in the second quarter, still was second on the team in receiving yards at the end of the game.
Yeah. I don't think the no weapons argument holds up when you throw 4 interceptions. 4 brutal interceptions.
You and I were watching this game together, and there was a point when CJ Stroud threw the worst pick that we had seen all playoffs, and then later in that game threw a worse pick than that.
It was brutal. It was laughable. It was hilarious to watch, personally. But yeah, they were bad. They were really bad.
Yep. Was not great. This game started out where it looked like it was going to be the exact script that we talked about, where late in the second quarter, or midway through the second quarter, it was 10-7, which is kind of where I think we all thought it was going. And then Stroud threw interceptions on back-to-back possessions and one more before half. Not great, Jim. And you know who else didn't play a good game? And we'll potentially talk about here in a second, is Drake May. And he still walked away with 3 touchdowns because they got handed great field position every time.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Woody Marks didn't play a great game, carrying the ball 14 times for 17 yards.
That's, yeah. I mean, New England's one defensive thing is their front 4.
Yeah.
So,
CJ Stroud made their secondary look like the fucking Legion of Boom, so I don't know.
Yeah. But, Mike, is CJ Stroud fixable? What happened between rookie year Stroud and now?
Jesus, I don't even know. I mean, last year it was very, he didn't play as good, sophomore slump, whatever cliches.
It's all Slowick's fault, yeah.
Yeah, fire Bobby Slowick, and then he's played even worse this year than last year.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure has.
I think that's a pretty fair thing to say, yeah.
In 2023, his PFF grade, 83.2. 2024, PFF grade, 80. Not bad, Slight fall off. In 2025, PFF grade, 65.
It's going in the wrong direction.
By far. Yes, that is. Typically, they say that development isn't linear, but I don't think that what they mean is that it doesn't linearly decline every year until you're a 0.
I just want to throw this out here, because this is funny in hindsight where we are. So it's 62% completion. All right, 21 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Bryce Young, 62.7% completions, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
Bryce Young definitively had a better season than CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
But is this fixable? What's the problem here? 0 games season over an 80 grade. I keep asking you a question and cutting you off when you go to answer.
You're right.
His best 2 games were against San Francisco's defense at home and Arizona's defense at home, both teams that had pretty poor pass defenses this year.
Yeah.
There was an argument to start Davis Mills. There really was. Coming out of half, there was an argument to switch over to Davis Mills.
Those are strong argument.
Yeah.
I think
so,
we were
Mike,
both
this
calling
time
for it.
I will ask you, and I will not cut you off. How do you fix CJ Stroud?
I wish I was smart enough to sit here and break down the mechanics of how he throws the ball and what he's seeing to a very high level to sound intelligent. Mm-hmm. But outside of very shallow grade stuff there, I'm not gonna put that on myself and sound dumb in front of the internet. So I will say this. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, as they say,
Mhm.
because I mean we didn't think Darnold was fixable.
Is Darnold fixed, or is Darnold just on the most talented team he's ever been on?
I'd say it's like 60-40. 40% Darnold's fixed, 60% he's on a great team.
So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You're saying ride it out with Stroud for his rookie deal? Ride out for Stroud
Well, I
one
mean,
more year? Give him the
that's the part-
extension?
That's the part that makes this so interesting is that like this decision, Houston's gonna have to make these decisions very soon because he's going into year 4 of his deal, and this is usually the year where rookie QBs either get their extension or they get told, "Hey, we're just picking up your option."
Mhm.
So this is all going to come to a head very fast for Houston. I just don't know what he's seeing out there. He's making poor
Ghosts.
decisions. Yeah, he's making poor decisions. It's not. I don't know what changed from year 1 Stroud to now to where it looks like he plays with absolutely no confidence.
Yeah, and I mean, he also set the rookie record for the least amount of turnovers to passes thrown in a rookie campaign. His team made the playoffs. And now it's like that interception that he threw to the first one he threw to Carlton Davis. There's no tip ball, there's something in the way. He just threw it to Carlton Davis, who looked like he was running a crossing route for CJ Stroud. I don't know if it's a confidence thing. I don't know if it's a mechanics thing. I don't know if it's a reading thing. Too much film out on him, but he's the antithesis of what made him so good as a rookie.
And I feel like there's a lot of these weeks where we see him play and his numbers aren't you look at his box score and the Texans will win and you'll be like oh, Stroud didn't really play that great or didn't really do much impressive. But those are but now we see what happens, what the other outcome could be. Is he could totally implode.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Any more thoughts on CJ Stroud?
No, just that the right guy went number 1 in that draft.
I think the right guy was Will Campbell. Mike, the New England Patriots, who I'm seeing here, beat the Houston Texans despite small hands, Drake May fumbling the ball 4 times. Can the Patriots win an NFL championship this year?
Yeah.
All right, on to the next one.
I mean, they're at that point where they got to get through. We'll talk about them in a minute, but a hindered Broncos team, and then you get to the Super Bowl where it's just one game. You just got to win one game, and who knows what can happen.
It'd be kind of fun if they didn't tell you when or where the Super Bowl is going to be until 24 hours beforehand.
That would actually be fun.
Yeah,
kind of like a flash sale.
Yeah, like imagine you just have your entire team on standby within an hour drive of the airport, and then you get a call from the commissioner's office, and he goes it's in Arizona on July 4th. You're like, fuck, we have to wait 6 months?
I thought you meant where. I know where and when. That's really
sad. Where and when. Yeah.
Very interesting. I think it's poetic that the team that had this historically easy schedule got to the playoffs and we've still gotten 0 answers.
They had a good win in their first playoff game, I feel like. I mean,
I didn't even call it a good win.
Yeah, I mean, there was no offensive linemen and everything. But they get the no offensive linemen Chargers. The CJ Stroud is broken and throwing to Jalen Noel Texans. And now they're going to get the Jared Stidham Broncos.
Yeah.
Although the Patriots never won a game in Mile High. Fun fact. Well, never won a playoff game. I'm sure they've won regular season games there. But they've never won a playoff game in Mile High. It's very hard to win there. Do you know why, Mike?
Because the air's so thin.
Yeah, it's very high up, you see.
It's tough to catch your breath.
In my head, and I've been to Denver, in my head, it's just like a plateau on top of a massive mountain, like something you'd see in Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
The rest of Colorado is at normal sea level elevation, but then Denver is just sitting on this huge mountainous growth in the middle of the state. They didn't really evoke anything out of you.
Where prime Matt Prater's just kicking bombs.
Yeah. That I really thought that would get more of a pop out of you, but you did not seem to care. Anyways, Mike. So the possibilities, the things standing between Drake May and a Super Bowl title in his second year. The Denver defense, Seattle's defense potentially, or the Rams offense. Now, amongst those three units, where would you rank the Patriots offense? Or including those three units? Be fourth?
Or third?
Over the Rams offense?
I thought we were including the Broncos in here.
I said the Broncos defense.
Oh, those specific units. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, fourth.
I'm just thinking like strongest units left in front of them. Okay, so then what if we flip all that? The Patriots' weaker unit, their defense, who has been playing well in the playoffs, but is their weaker unit. Patriots defense, Broncos offense, Seattle offense, or Rams defense. Where do you rank it there?
Broncos are dead last. Either 2 or 3. Maybe 3.
So do we really believe in them winning hoisting a Lombardi?
I don't know. I don't know what this team is, Adam. I haven't gotten any answers. I can't tell you.
That's true. Yeah, they're really not helping. Hey, you know who's been fucking terrible in the playoffs since he came back from injury?
Gene Steratore.
Will Campbell. Steratore too. But Will Campbell's been bad, man. He was getting K-rushed. They're just gonna put Nick Bonito against him the entire game, and his little T-Rex arms won't be able to stop him. Is that what a T-Rex sounds like?
I guess in my head.
Don't show this guy Jurassic Park.
Blow my mind.
Big roars in that movie. It's a big roar kind of movie. Yeah, so to go to show you how dumb of a stat QBR is, Drake May had a worse QBR in this game than CJ Stroud did.
Yeah, that's a dumb stat. I prefer his PFF grade, which was 27.5. CJ Stroud's.
Oh my God, was it really?
Yeah.
What was Drake May's?
Guess I'll look it up.
87. Oh,
No.
wait, that's on the season. Don't listen to me.
54.5.
Yeah, bad game. Bad game.
I mean, he didn't have to do much.
Except fumble the ball 4 times.
Huh?
He didn't have to do much, and he still didn't.
Yeah, I'm saying Drake May didn't have to do much.
Yeah, he didn't have to do much. They won despite him. He had 4 fumbles and an interception.
Yeah. He sucks.
Yeah, he's bad. Get him out of there.
Bryce Young's better. Bryce Young's way better than this kid.
Yeah, trade him for Bryce Young. Get Dave Canales in there. Just do the Panthers. Do the Patriots.
This is your MVP, people? This you think he should be MVP?
Any more thoughts? Patriots or Houston before we move on to the next game?
Nah, move along.
Next up, the Denver Broncos, who beat your Buffalo Bills 33-30 in overtime with some controversy. Mike, are the Denver Broncos DOA without BONIX?
There you go. No.
No?
They're not DOA.
Are you Stidham?
I don't know. I'm going to say I'm Stidham, but if their defense can keep that, they can turn this thing into a fucking rock fight, then who knows what could happen.
Well, Jaleel McLaughlin and R.J. Harvey combined for 42 yards on 10 attempts. Where was the run game?
Yeah, we're trying it.
But not exactly a killer's row of running backs in Denver.
No. But I don't know. There's concepts. There's easy stuff I think you can implement to try to get the ball into some people's hands in space. And like I said, string together long drives, chew up, eat a lot of clock, and hope your defense can really just stand pat against Drake. I mean, like you said, take away the gifted short field position. Patriots offense wasn't really clicking. Now, the worry for Denver will be defensively is that they're not the same at all. James Cook was able to run on Denver, especially when we went
yards,
inside.
4.9 a clip.
Yeah, especially when we went inside between the gap between the center and the guard. That's where he had most of his success up until like late in that game. Denver started to adjust and shut it down more. So
I will say, in Denver's defense, outside of Denver, the Bills had the best offensive line left.
Yeah.
And the Patriots' offensive line does not seem stellar. So I don't think the Patriots, and they don't have James Cook. I don't think the Patriots are going to have a James Cook level of success on Denver.
No, I think my more thought was just like once or twice Henderson could catch him sleeping and break off like a stupid long run.
Boo caught him.
That was more my thought.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the fun stats about Stidham. He's the only backup quarterback to not throw a pass in a regular season game in the last 2 years. Every other quarterback who has been a backup in the league for the last 2 years has thrown at least one pass.
Arms fresh, baby. Ready to work.
His last throw was for the Las Vegas Raiders. Or sorry, the New England Patriots. No, Las Vegas Raiders. He was drafted by the New England Patriots. His last throw was for the Las Vegas Raiders in 2023.
Part of me really wants him to Foles this shit, play lights out, win a Super Bowl, just so we can get that drama and controversy in Denver.
Nix or Stidham?
Yeah, Nix or Stidham. Or the better one where some team like signs Stidham to a stupid contract off of 2 games.
Looking at you, Las Vegas. Bringing Stidham back into the building. What does a Broncos Super Bowl berth look like? Like, what is the final score of the conference championship game if the Broncos make the Super Bowl?
Oh God, like what, like 16-10? You know?
And who has 16?
It'd be like the Broncos. I mean, it would probably be the Broncos on like 3 touchdown or 3 field goals and a defensive touchdown. They get the 16. Drake May cakes his,
you said 3 field goals. Yeah.
Yeah. Drake May cakes his pants.
Uh-huh.
You know, and that's how they get there. What really, it would feel, if I was a Bronco fan, I'd feel so much better if they had a running back. Like, I'm not saying RJ Harvey isn't going to become that, but right now they don't have a running game.
Yeah, I think that the 2 ways that you'll know this game's going the Broncos' way are either A, on the opening offensive drive, RJ Harvey, or I guess, depending on your particular brand of odd sadism, Jaleel McLaughlin, is averaging like 6 yards a carry, and they march down the field, kill 5 minutes of clock, and score a touchdown. Or on the Patriots' open drive, pick 6. I think those are the 2 ways where you'd be like, I think Denver might have this one early in the game.
Did Denver make a massive mistake that's coming back to bite them now?
Uh-huh.
That they got rid of Audric Estime.
Your hero, Audric Estime. You want to tell me how many total yards Audric Estime had this year?
It has to be 95.
At the very most, 95.
I'm guessing. Oh, here, I'm pulling up 198, baby. Average 4.3 a carry. Want to talk shit now?
About 190 yards Audric Estime?
198. 198, Adam.
Sorry, I shortchanged him 8 yards. I shortchanged him 2 carries.
Bitch. Don't you try to pull that shit with Jeremiah Love when he gets in the NFL next year. I'm going to have it.
Mike, moving on to the other team from this game. The Buffalo Bills. They are now 8-8 in the playoffs under the former coach Sean McDermott. They're 0-6 in the divisional round. My question is a little bit more abstract than the rest of these. Year to year, what needs to change here? Obviously, the coach already has. And good news, the front office changed too. Brandon Beane, no longer the GM. He's the GM and the president of football operations.
Yeah, I don't even... are we even talking that right now?
I mean, just what changes need to be done? Like, in terms of Buffalo, if you have, I mean, any thoughts for what they need to do this offseason, let them rip.
So I guess going in that sense, do I think a coaching change is understandable? Absolutely. McDermott, I mean, I look at, he doesn't have the ring to show for it. But, you know, John Harbaugh is another example of a dude who did get the 1 ring with Flacco. But since then, he's like, hey, I'm going to give you a lot of wins. Great record. Not going to get over the hump. McDermott's is that. And so making a head coaching change, I don't think was crazy. The crazy part is also keeping Beane and promoting him when he is a massive culprit for the fucking problem.
Why did the Pagolas love their general manager so much? Is it because that's who they hire and the GMs hire the coach?
So that's what scares the ever living shit out of me, right? Is because we drafted Josh and McDermott and I guess you could say Bean as well, brought in, they helped develop like a culture and get this franchise back on track. But we forget that on the other side of things, while that's going on, the Buffalo Sabres have a 12-year playoff drought, the longest in the NHL.
Longest in American professional sports right now.
Okay. And it's just been like a revolving door of high picks and GMs and coaches not working. And you know who owns that team? Terry Pegula. And so I'm just saying, like, if we start seeing poor decisions being made from a front office standpoint, it could be a red flag for where the Bills are heading.
Based off the Sabres' success, if a couple games into the season next year, they fire Brandon Beane, do you think that was the plan? Do you think the Pegulas realized that firing Brandon Beane will lead to a 12-game win streak? So they're waiting to go 0-2 to fire him, so they can
Maybe.
They can go on a 12-0 run after that.
Maybe that's the idea. But it's clear that what needs to change is, now there's going to be a new coach in there, obviously, so a new mindset. But, this roster just has to get better. It is a testament to Josh and some of the good players on that team, and even, in my opinion, a big pat on the back to the coaching staff, McDermott, Babich, and Brady, that they got as far as they did.
This is such a 180 of where you were 2 months ago.
No, it's not.
You hated Joe Brady 2 months ago.
And I still have my issues with him, but he actually did call a good game in Denver.
Yeah.
I thought he called a damn good game.
I think Josh is really hurt after that first game, after the Jags game. I think he was really fucking injured. Yeah.
I also think it was Superman constantly needing to be Superman throughout the year, and then it bit him a couple times in that game.
So the obvious deficiencies on the Bills. The Bulls' obvious deficiencies is the number one scorer. Wing defense, I would say, another one.
Gideon keeps hanging out at high school.
Yeah. Gideon and Drake are texting. The Bills' obvious deficiencies. Limited to no exterior pass rush. They have some good defensive tackles, but defensive tackles, even the best in the league, are getting pressure significantly less than edge defenders. The linebackers are good, not top of the NFL. Safeties are good. I like the safeties. Safeties were a lot better than last year. But the defensive back room in general, pretty bad.
Very shallow secondary, very, very thin secondary, one injury and everything gets screwed up, which has been that way for a while, and we all realize it. Brandon Beane doesn't realize it, though, and doesn't do what he needs to do make changes. That's same thing on the other side of the ball.
He's got to bring
wide
more
receiver.
tight ends.
Yeah, wide receiver. We desperately needed him. We were saying that all year. He didn't make it a priority in the draft and free agency. He said, "Hey, you know what? Josh Palmer will solve everything." He got hurt and didn't even play a whole season with us. And then we're playing musical chairs, calling up every Tom, Dick, and Harry we can find, bringing Gabe Davis back after a torn ACL, getting McCole Hardman off his couch because the Chiefs didn't want him anymore. Oh, hey, Brandon Cooks, what's going on? You got over 30 and the NFL decided you didn't have it anymore, but we think you still have it. Come on, buddy.
Didn't even fucking bother to mention Cade Stovers.
Cade Stovers. All right.
Stovers.
And Bean, I can't remember his exact quote, but I just remember he had the balls to get on radio in Buffalo and get snippy and snap back at the sentiment from fans that he wasn't doing anything about the wide receiver position. And I'm paraphrasing, so I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was along the lines of, our receivers are good, fuck off. At least that was my translation.
By the way, I said Cade Stovers. I meant Tyrell Shavers.
Yeah, we drafted Tyrell Shavers, didn't we?
Didn't even mention him. Didn't mention him. And your whole diatribe there.
Sorry, Tyrell.
Had 2 targets last week.
My point being is, what needs to change is better roster building, and also I would like to. Our cap's fucked. Why is it fucked? Because the guy who handles the cap, the guy who just got promoted,
Sean McDermott.
No,
it has to be. They fired him.
Yeah. Don't worry though. Like you said, Bean over years and years has invested money in draft picks into our defensive front, all for it to not be able to sack Bo goddamn Nix once.
But
Bo Nix, who when you get pressure on Bo Nix, you can literally hear like the AOL dial-up tone going on in his brain.
That's how they say you beat Bo Nix. You get pressure rushing 4.
Like it's just like clear. Sorry, I'll go. I'll stop. Go ahead.
If at whatever pick you have, 26, let's say, without knowing the board, how it's going to shake out, you can go wide receiver, defensive back, or edge defender. What would you want them to pick?
Depends who's on the board, Adam.
That's not an answer. Where do you want them to take a dart throw? It's 26 in the draft. Name one player who went 26 who's ever been all NBA. All NBA. All pro. I got basketball in the brain, man. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I don't know. I guess secondary.
It's the wrong answer, Mike. We were looking for wide receiver. Wide receiver is the answer.
I don't love this wide receiver class.
But you don't know who's going to be on the board. Maybe
That's true,
Jeremiah Smith's on the board at 26.
And throughout the Senior Bowl and all the pre-draft stuff, someone could catch my eye and I could be like, that's the guy right there. I mean, I don't know.
Mike, I've known you a lot of years. Someone from the Senior Bowl will, in fact, catch your eye.
I was thinking today, like, if Elijah Surratt's there.
You just won because you like saying his name.
I would like some Surratt.
Elijah Surratt. Mike, the Seattle Seahawks, who have won a football game, narrowly defeating the 49ers.
Barely got by.
I
believe teams.
I think that they accidentally deleted the 3 in front of the San Francisco score, right? It had to be 41-36. There's no way it was 41-6. I think they deleted a 3. Seattle beat San Francisco. Here's my question for Seattle for you, Mike. Does it matter how well Sam Darnold plays? Does it really matter? Does it matter at all? Like, how poorly does Sam Darnold have to play for you to go, uh-oh, Seattle's in trouble?
Adam, I don't know how you did this weird reverse psychology. I kind of hate you for it, to where now I have to be the Darnold believer amongst us, and I have to defend him.
Darnold, in a game that Seattle won 41-6, went 12 for 17, 124 yards, 1 touchdown, and took 2 sacks for 18 yards. On net, he had 106 passing yards.
Right.
106. And they won 41-6.
Right, but you know what I see?
Kenneth Walker.
I see 70% completions with no turnovers and no turnover-worthy plays.
So does it matter how well he plays?
But you say he played bad. All I'm saying is, did he play bad, or did he just do what he needed to do while KW3, former Michigan State Spartan KW3, put belt to ass on that sorry 49ers defensive front?
Kenneth Walker waited for Zach Charbonnet to go down and went, now I'll justify the draft pick.
He had 116 yards, but if you removed his longest yard run, he had 101. Like, this was a workhorse back performance from Kenneth Walker, and you love to see it.
Obviously, the defense played exceptionally well. They forced only 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and an interception. But like we were talking about, like 6 points. 6 points from a Kyle Shanahan-led team. That's got to be the lowest of his career, right?
Yeah.
The 49ers ran 60 plays. They got 1 point per 10 plays run.
The Seahawks defense is good.
The Seahawks almost averaged a point per play for 41 points. This was just, I mean, this might be one of the most one-sided postseason games that I've ever seen. It was over on the opening kickoff.
It was John Schneider, GM of the year.
Yeah, good thing I didn't write my potential follow-up article to
about
Carousel fucking sucks.
I'm just saying, that's what the announce was. They're like, Shaheed to the house, John Schneider's the GM of the year.
At least Al Michaels was awake for this one. I don't think he was calling this game. But did you ever hear that punt return call they had for Shaheed?
Yeah.
He was at like the 18. And Al Michaels was just talking about something else and then goes,
oh, yeah.
Shaheed! Fields the punt. It's like, he's almost in the end zone now. Are you watching this on delay?
Now, I will say this to your point. in that I would have thought Purdy would have had bigger numbers. Because going into the game, I talked about how bad the 49ers secondary was. So that's why I'm wondering, like, was it just not there, or this game got out of hand so fast he just was on cruise control and they barely threw the ball? I think it's the latter.
Is next week going to be the seeing ghost game for Darnold?
I don't think he's seeing ghosts, bro. I think that man had an
He has
exorcism.
played terrible against the Rams this year. Although he did have that overtime win, but he still played poorly in that game for the first 3 quarters.
You know what the funny thing is? I think it was that comeback, that Week 16 comeback, where it was all up. Here goes Darnold again, shitting his pants in a big game. They're going to get their ass kicked by the Rams. The big comeback, the weirdest successful 2-point conversion attempt we've ever seen. And I feel like that turned something on. I feel like it made the Seahawks believe.
So since that comeback, he has had, according to PFF grades, a 60, a 67, and a 72 grade as a passer.
That's better than C.J. Stroud.
It is better than C.J. Stroud. You might find this hard to believe, but Sam Darnold's best game of the season was against the Washington Commanders.
Oh, so that's why you hate him now.
Listen, I love C.J. Stroud. I love Sam Darnold before it was cool, and I gave up on him before anyone else did this year.
I think this is just such a good, well-rounded team. I don't think Darnold's going to cake his pants and see ghosts this time around.
Talking about a team that did cake their pants, the 49ers. Here's my question for you about the 49ers. Is it time for a tear it down to the studs rebuild?
I thought they did like a mini version of that last offseason.
They let so many defensive players walk. I mean, that's, Denver picked up Greenlaw and Hufanga.
Mm-hmm.
And McGlinchey, but that was a few years ago. You just love telling Hufanga's name. You always say it like that. Hufanga. That's like how Trump would say it. Hufanga.
It's a great name. It's a fun name. Hufanga. Hufanga. What is that? Is that Greenland? Is he from Greenland?
Steeland, we're calling it. Okay, they traded away Debo last year.
Yeah.
Trent Williams about to retire. George Kittle has the torn ACL. Not ACL, Achilles. Do you just, sell Jennings? Ayuk's already going to be gone. Get CMC out of there. On the defensive side of the ball, obviously they are already in shambles. Maybe see what you can get for Nick Bosa coming off an injury. Mm-hmm. Bring Fred Warner back because that guy should retire a 49er. God damn it. But outside of that, is this a to the studs rebuild time? Will Shanahan stick around for that? Are you going to miss Purdy's window? Does Purdy have a window? Is he really an NFL quarterback?
No.
I'm kidding. I think Purdy's good.
I think if I'm a 49ers fan, maybe I'm a little happy this happened. That's not true. I'm not happy. There's no reason to ever be happy that your team loses. But I'm just saying, I thought my memory of the offseason was me talking about how it looks like the Niners are going into a bit of a rebuild. Like you said, they moved out these defensive guys. I think they're trying to get younger, and they did somewhat. But when I went back and going into this game and really looked back over that roster, there's still a lot of fat left.
Yeah.
Of past Niners teams, and there's still a lot of, it's not as young as I thought it may have morphed into. So there could be a world where they stay competitive and continue to slowly do that. Churn in new guys, churn out old guys. So I don't know if I'm going to say down to the studs, but maybe stay on course and don't freak out if next year you go 10-7, 11-6, and don't make the playoffs. It's okay.
Yeah, I've increasingly switched from a tanker titles guy to just a root for your team to win guy.
Yeah.
But from a team building perspective, this 49ers team is not going to hang around. Even in maybe the most open year we'll see in this generation, they won one playoff game and got decimated in the other.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And their team's getting older. Their team's expensive. The blue chip players on their team are aging out or already gone. Maybe it's not the worst thing in the world to say, hey, we got Purdy on a reasonable contract that's going to be around for a little bit. Let's see if we can do a turnaround in 3-4 years and win this when Purdy's 29-30.
Yeah. I wonder what wide receiver they're going to overpay this year.
Well, Ayuk is gone, so it's got to be Pearsall.
Yeah. What about third and Juwan?
Yeah, Juwan. Is Juwan up for a contract? They could overpay him.
I think it was. Yeah, they can overpay third and Juwan. They can overpay Ricky Pearsall, who Did not play a lot of. Well, he played football this year, but not as much as you'd probably want.
Yeah. And the year before, his
Keeps
pump up
getting
kicks
shot in
didn't
the
move
ass.
faster
Did you
than
know
his
that?
bullets. Yeah.
Damn it.
Mike, the Chicago Bears.
Da Bears.
The Bears.
Da Bears.
Caleb Williams pulls off the most incredible fourth down game-winning or game-tying touchdown I've ever seen, where he runs backwards for 15 yards and then throws it to Kmet in the corner.
You can confirm I wasn't awake for that, right?
I do not remember. Were you?
I don't think I was.
Maybe not. They then proceed to lose the game in overtime on a terrible Caleb Williams pick. Kind of you live by the Williams, you die by the Williams. Williams ends up with 3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and a nice plane ticket back home to California, where he's going to spend the offseason, I assume.
Painting his nails.
Mike, is this Chicago streak a feature or a bug? Is this a clutch team, or do you not trust teams that win 7 fourth quarter comeback games throughout a season?
I think there's a lot of talented guys on Chicago. And I think it's coming together, and so I think it's something you can buy into. I think there's some teams that win 1-score games, and when you look at it, you're like, we all know this isn't sustainable. You know, like this is come back to bite.
Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they won all those 1-score games, and now this year they weren't even in the playoffs.
True. Oh, I mean, now you're making my argument for me.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know. But my point being is, I think I feature flaw. I think it's a feature as a football fan. It's fun as hell to watch. It makes the Bears like must-watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping they get down a score going into the fourth quarter, so Caleb can do some dumb shit, followed by some crazy shit.
So they end up losing their final 2 games in the season, but prior to that, they had the comeback win against Green Bay that they then replicated in the playoffs. They had the comeback win against the Commanders, which is long forgotten at this point. Do they have any other like super notable ones? I mean, they had a comeback win against the Giants. They had a close win against the Bengals, but the big ones obviously are the overtime win against the Packers, and then in the playoffs, the down 18 comeback win against the Packers. And so my kind of question on this is, if we do this season 100 times, knowing what we know now, how many times does Green Bay beat, or does Chicago beat Green Bay if they play? We'll just say 100 games instead of 200 over 100 seasons. If they play 100 games, how many times this season does Chicago beat Green Bay?
Probably like 70 of them.
Oh my God, that is absurd.
What, you think it'd be
70? 70.
Less?
Yeah.
50-50.
I think Green Bay wins slightly more than Chicago. I think Green Bay had a more talented roster. Chicago just had a horseshoe up their ass.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, that's why I said 70 for Green Bay.
Oh, I thought you said 70 for Chicago, because I said how many games does Chicago win?
No, I said 70 for Green Bay, just based off, like you said, the last 2 games needing to be ridiculous comebacks, and Chicago or Green Bay needing to sit on their own balls for it to happen.
It is kind of wild that last year Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay from the NFC North all made the playoffs, and this year all 3 of them missed it and Chicago made it.
That's pretty wild.
It's pretty wild. What does that mean? You know?
It's interesting.
And also, somehow Minnesota went 9-8. Someone explain that to me. Every week, Minnesota was a disaster, and they went 9-8.
Wait, the Vikings went 9-8 this year?
The Vikings went 9-8 this year. How is that fucking possible?
I have no idea. Wow. Fun fact
they won
here,
5 straight in the year. What's up?
About the Chicago LA game.
Mm-hmm.
Goose egg on the sack count for the Rams.
Oh, there you go. I was like, didn't Stafford get sacked like a good amount?
Nope. 24 pressures resulted in 0 sacks. Just an interesting thing to note.
It is an interesting thing to note. How many of those pressures run the Caleb Williams touchdown in the fourth quarter? All of them? All 24 of them?
All 24 of them.
Mike, our final team to ask a question about.
Woo!
What?
Ooh. Never mind.
Okay. The LA Rams. Will they be able to hold it together on defense for 2 more games. That's it. That's all I need. 2 more. Can they keep it together for 2 more games on defense, Mike?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I've sold all my Rams stock. I sold it
all of
and
it.
I put it all into Darnold. Into the Darnold dream, baby. Me and Ronald McDonald. Mike McDonald.
Ronald McDonald?
Yeah.
Do you think they lose next week?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that'll be a fun conversation on the next podcast then. So, by the way, Rams defense. Basically, the first half of the year leading up to Week 12 against Tampa Bay, every game, according to PFF grade, was at least a passing grade, so at least a 68 or above. They had 1 bad game in there against Jacksonville. After that Tampa Bay game, the rest of the year up until this final game, they had 2 games over a 68. And then against the Bears, 73, according to PFF grade. So the numbers back up. Your whole Rams defense is falling apart. Chris Shula's washed. No one should hire Chris Shula. He's a bad coach. Fire Chris Shula. Get him out of there. Your whole thing there, kind of holding up with what we're seeing from the numbers here. From the numbers.
And next week, they're going to be playing not in a snowstorm.
They're going to be playing not in a snowstorm next week. But Sam Darnold's coming to town. And at some point, he might start seeing ghosts.
No, they're going to Sam Darnold's town.
They're going to Sam Darnold's town.
There you go.
He might be seeing ghosts. Forbes led FCS in pick sixes his last year of college. Cam Curl. This is bad for the audio listeners. Mike, that's my one question for every team from the divisional round. Did you have any additional questions that you wanted to ask? Here's
no.
Okay. Let me say this about the Rams.
Yeah.
If Sam Darnold's cakes his pants, right? Rams win. They are either getting 14-year-old Drake May with a Swiss cheese offensive line, or Jared Stidham. I think we could see the Rams' best defensive game of the season in the Super Bowl.
That's not crazy. I think the winner of the we'll talk about it on next pod.
I would say that confidently too if Seattle wins. If the Rams win, I'm like, I don't know.
I like how you knew where I was going. I didn't say the full thing.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Let's talk about this coaching carousel, and then we'll get out of here. This coaching carousel. You see, it's a carousel because you get on at one point and it goes do 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 do, and then you get off. That's what makes
creepy ass fucking carousels were you on as a kid with that song?
I don't know. It was in a guy's basement. Mike, we already have 4 hirings. 4 hirings. Miami. Here's what I'm going to list these off. You just give me thumbs up, thumbs down. We don't need to talk about the coaches that are already hired. That's not fun. So you just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down on each of these hirings, okay?
Hey.
Okay. Miami hires former Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley to be their head coach.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Mike, hit us with the Joaquin. The New York Giants sign a 5-year deal to hire John Harbaugh as their head coach.
I won't give my long diatribe because I think I already said it too when we were talking the other day, but for what the Giants need right now, thumbs up.
And we also talked about this. I'm so irrationally confident in the Giants' inability to put together a successful football team that I am now convinced that John Harbaugh is going to be disgraced in his final stint as a coach.
I mean, history is on your side in that thinking.
Yeah, it's basically Coughlin or not since the year 2000.
Shout out
the Atlanta
to
Falcons.
Friggin' Coughlin, man. Legend.
Shoutouts to Coughlin, who went to be the GM in Jacksonville and shit his pants. Is that where he went?
Yeah.
I think he was the coach and GM. I think he was one of the last ones to do that.
He was just GM because he was a Jags coach before he was a Giants coach. That's where that connection was, and they went back there. Yeah.
The Atlanta Falcons hire Kevin Stefanski. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Did we just see this?
What's your bet?
Like,
do the Falcons go 3-13 or 13-3 next year?
Kevin Stefanski's Arthur Smith without the 2 Coach of the Year awards. They're the same person. This is going to go just the way it did with Arthur Smith.
Excuse you. Kevin Stefanski went 13-3 in 2 seasons and 3-13 in his other 3. So
like, the duality of Stefanski.
He averages out to an Arthur Smith.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think you want to average out to an Arthur Smith, though.
Only in the bedroom, am I right, folks?
Hey, that dude's an animal between the sheets. With his little mustache, his little tickler.
They call him Arthur Whiff in bed.
He whiffs?
It's like a big smell in, like taking a big whiff. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah. You tell me one of the senses that you appreciate the least during sex is the odor.
I thought of like a smelly Arthur Smith. I don't like that. It's gross.
Okay, got it. So you don't want to take a whiff of post-sex Arthur Smith.
Yeah, like sweaty post-sex Arthur Smith. Nah,
How I cannot believe Uber and FanDuel sponsored this podcast.
crazy.
And the Tennessee Titans hired Robert Saleh as their head coach.
We are on different sides of this one. Thumbs down for me.
Yeah, I'm a thumbs up on this. I don't know, man.
Wrong.
Like, are we really going to give the Jets enough credit to say if someone coached poorly with the Jets, they should never coach again?
So I thought that as well. I was like, so I will say, be fair, that wasn't in a great situation. He's got Cam Ward. I don't know how much better the situation is in Tennessee.
It's
Also,
definitely better than fucking Aaron Rodgers coming in and tanking your season.
Yeah, but Salah also wants to go out there and talk shit about my boy Cohen.
Yeah, what was that? They had such weird beef.
He made some like snide comments about Cohen like knowing defensive signals or some shit like that. I remember.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then when
Cohen
they got on the field, they went back and forth.
Cohen got real pissy about that. What was the weirder beef? Cohen getting upset when Saleh was trying to compliment him about the defensive signals? Or Ben Johnson hating Matt LaFleur's guts for some reason?
The Cohen Saleh one's weirder just because like part of the Johnson hating LaFleur is fun because I feel like he's playing into division rivalries and I appreciate that. The other one's just kind of random. But now, because Saleh took this job with the Titans, he gets to get his shit kicked in twice a year by my boy. Duval.
We'll see. But if I'm Robert Saleh, day one, I'm getting like a real stretchy band, and I'm just making Cam Ward's hands bigger. I'm attaching one end to his four fingers, another end to his thumb, and I'm just pulling until he gets a bigger hand.
Yeah, until the band snaps, and then Anthony Richardson's
blinds himself. Eye injuries are funny.
And then he has to start Will Levis. Yeah, remember him? He's still there, everybody.
Just housing mayo. Can after can after can of mayo. Will Levis, the king of the... He's bad, but he could be Josh Allen.
Oof.
Your team fucked up team-building philosophy for everyone for so long.
Hey, it was my team and the Chiefs. All right.
Once again, like Patrick Mahomes came into the league and people were like, yeah, he's a quarterback. They didn't think he was going to be an MVP, but they also weren't like, ugh, this guy. Josh Allen came in the league and some people were like, that draft pick might sink the Bills for the next 6 decades. Like people hated that draft pick. I don't think anyone hated the Mahomes pick.
There's goofy shit that Mahomes does and did that
like talk
coaches and that for one that coaches and scouts would look at and be like, you can't do that shit in the NFL. Get out of here. This kid's crazy. I don't want nothing to do with this kid.
Lay horizontally in the air and throw a touchdown.
Right, yeah.
Mike, but with those openings filled, ideally by Arthur Smith. That's a sex joke, not a coaching joke. We still have 6 openings. I feel like I've cursed that word now. Can't use it anymore. Because now I've just insinuated that Arthur Smith is putting things in those openings.
Oh, God. I wish I had an Arthur Smith gif dialed up.
Damn it. We're just going to list out these 6 openings. These 6 vacancies. I got to say vacancies. We're going to list these 6 vacancies. And we're going to rank them from 6 to 1. Here are the current.
Wait.
What?
Best to worst?
Yeah, 6 being the worst, 1 being the best.
Gotcha.
Here are the 6 remaining vacancies: Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Baltimore, Cleveland, Las Vegas, and Arizona. Mike, who do you have as the worst vacancy? I almost said it. I almost said the O word. Worst vacancy in
Cleveland.
the NFL. Wow, you said that before I could finish the question. It's definitely Vegas. How is Cleveland worse than Vegas?
Cleveland has no weapons. Well, they got one hell of a tight end. We know that.
They got one hell of a tight end. They have a great defense.
Still, I mean, Myles Garrett's getting old. Other guys in that defense aren't. It's going to start aging out.
Myles Garrett
I guess
got the sack record this year, and it only took him 22 games.
Yeah, I'm sure. I would be surprised if Garrett fell off next year. So maybe you're right with Vegas. The thing about Cleveland that I don't like is you're walking into. In Vegas, you're walking into I'm walking into a place with no quarterback. And then in Cleveland, I feel like you're going to be walking into a situation where it's like, hey, we drafted these 2 kids in the middle of the draft last year. You want to try to do something with them?
As just a quick comparative experiment here. Let's do this. Let's do a just an entire roster draft. We'll go 3 rounds.
Vegas is losing Max Crosby. You're right. Vegas is 6.
Let's do a Vegas and Cleveland entire roster draft. 3 rounds. We each get 3 picks. I'll give you the first pick.
Player?
Any player on Cleveland or Vegas.
I guess I'll just go chalk and say Myles Garrett.
Okay, I'll take Brock Bowers too.
Okay, I'll take Ashton Jeanty.
It gets so hard after the first 2 picks. That is outrageous. Okay, Jeanty and who else did we draft? Jeanty, Bowers, and Garrett.
Yeah.
I will take what's his face, the rookie of the year. The linebacker.
Schlesinger.
Yeah, I'll take Schweisinger.
Yeah. All right, I'll finish it up and take Harold Fannin Jr. He's a dog.
Now, who do I want to take? You know what? They both have a really good argument now that we're saying this out loud. Like a really good argument. I'll take Quinshon Judkins.
Nah.
Yeah.
He's got hands out of the backfield.
You know what? You've convinced me. You can go either way. 6 can either be Cleveland or Vegas. There is no definitive correct answer. That was a terrible draft. After the first 2 picks, it was basically like, I don't know, I got nothing. Whoever. Just draft someone.
Right.
So that almost definitively puts Arizona at 4? Or would you say Pittsburgh below Arizona? They both have question marks at quarterback. We don't know if Rodgers is coming back.
I don't think he is.
Arizona has more younger pieces. There's less of a spotlight on you. You don't have to be the head coach for 21 years to be successful.
Yeah, I believe it or not, I like Arizona's roster a little bit better than Pittsburgh. You're also not. That's the other thing. Pittsburgh, you're filling shoes of. Despite how it all ended, how it went, Tomlin was still a winning coach before him. We talked about it before him. The Chin Coward was a winning coach. Chuck Noll was a winning coach. You'd be stepping into that. I don't think Rodgers comes back. If Tomlin was still there, I think there'd be a chance Rodgers would come back. But with Tomlin gone, I think Rodgers is either retiring or he'll sign another 1-year deal with the Shanghai Dragons or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like you said, good point. Smaller stage, you could say, less spotlight on you at Arizona.
Hey, can we do?
How good is Pittsburgh's defense?
No, they're bad.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like the Ramsey trade looked good to start the year, but then Minkah Fitzpatrick really came on down the stretch in Miami, and I think that trade looked good for Miami more than it did for Pittsburgh.
Pickens trade didn't look great.
When you get fleeced by Jerry Jones, you should maybe go walk off a bridge.
Your prime target is out here punching fans. Like, what are we doing?
Can we have a quick side behind the scenes conversation?
Yeah.
If you are a competing channel, don't listen to this. Is it time we add a Shanghai Dragons logo to the Town Alone podcast thumbnail?
When we get sued?
If the Shanghai Dragons sue us, fucking bring it on.
All right.
Like once again, like Piss Pants Bill
YouTube
Simmons
stuff.
or Piss Pants Barstool Sports. I'll keep calling them out until they sue us, and then that's how we make Boku bucks, buckoos as we call them.
True. That's true. Let's go for it.
Okay, I'm with you enough to where I'll agree. So far, I would say the 6th ranked team is Vegas or Cleveland. There is no definitive 6th ranked team. The 4th ranked team
5-6.
5-6 is Pittsburgh. The 3rd ranked team is Arizona, which is bleak. That's bleak. That's pretty bleak.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the big question, Mike. What are your 1 and 2? Who is the number 1 coaching vacancy between the Bills and Ravens?
Yeah, this is actually a great question I saw today.
Was it one of mine that I had in the last segment because I wrote all of those?
No, like this question, a similar question.
Podcast.
No, I saw a similar question on TV today. Like, if you were a new head coach, would you rather be the new head coach for Allen or Lamar?
Uh-huh.
I was like, that's pretty interesting to think about. The question.
That's pretty interesting. The question. Yeah. So if you're with Lamar, you have a more well-rounded roster.
Yes.
But if you go to Buffalo, I think you have the better quarterback. Yeah.
I will say, I agree with that.
Both of them, you're going to get fired before the GM.
This, what I'm seeing here by team, it shows currently the Ravens having 13 million in cap space and the Bills having -11.
So if they just trade one player worth $24 million, they'll be equal.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean, what does cap space mean to the head coach? Well, it does mean a lot because you're going to want to be able to have good players get added to your team.
And, Mike, underrated aspect of this. I don't know if you know about this, but in Buffalo, there are no palm trees. We've checked everywhere.
There are no palm trees.
We're looking under rocks. We're looking in rivers. Can't find a one.
I don't know how tax rates line up between Maryland and New York, though. I'd have to look into that.
You've lived in Buffalo and you've seen The Wire, so I feel like you're the regional expert on both of these places.
I have both of these. Give
me your
seafood
definitive
in Maryland.
Soft shell crab. 3, 2, 1,
I'm
go.
going to say, since it's coach and not GM, I'm going to say Bills because they have a slightly better quarterback. They have one of the best running backs in the league, and I'll end it at that.
I'll go Baltimore because I don't like you.
Okay. Fair.
Final thing we're gonna do here, Mike. Let's run through. I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wrote down 7 names on the coaching candidate shortlist. Really, it's 6 because Tomlin is not going to be coaching next year. That's already been basically confirmed. He's going to take a year off.
Yeah.
So with these other 6 guys, let's run through a quick ranking here. Then I want to know who you would pick for Buffalo at the end of that. So once again, here are the names I have on my shortlist, and let me know if there's anyone that you want to add in. We have to kick someone off to add someone, but let me know if there's anyone you want to add in.
Right.
Sean McDermott, Mike McDaniel, Brian Daboll, Chris Shula, Josh McDaniels, Jesse Minter. Is there anyone you want to add to that list?
We're not gonna there's not any no one's even kicking the tires on a little Kubiak.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. I feel like Kubiak has kind of a tough reputation right now, but maybe he shouldn't. So if we add Kubiak, who are we kicking off the list? McDermott is taking a year off?
No, I don't think McDermott will take a year off.
So it'd be Minter, McDaniels, or Shula, who you would kick off.
Yeah.
For Kubiak. Who would you kick off of those 3? Minter?
Either Minter or Shula. I just don't know how you can track the performance of the Rams defense throughout this year and then be like, yep, Shula's the guy.
Can I tell you the absolute underrated thing that we're not talking about?
His last name.
No. Well, yes, but no. Because it's the end of January, and one of these guys is still coaching. And sometimes that's what owners see.
Isn't Minter 17 too?
He's 17. But
yeah.
on August 1st, if you go to Jerry Jones and ask him who the defensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks is, he will not know. But right now, he'll know who Chris Shula is.
Right, but he doesn't know who Aiden Durd is.
None of us do, because the defensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks is Mike McDonald.
No, it's Aiden Durd.
Isn't that the guy inside of Edward Norton's head?
Not Tyler Durden. Aiden
No, in the
Durden.
Incredible Hulk,
Oh, that's Bruce Banner.
which I watched
Yeah,
yesterday.
The dude was born in England.
Nah, I don't trust that guy. I don't trust anyone. He probably calls it American football. Fuck that guy. Fuck him.
Oh, he also has the problem of being like, your defense is really good. Your head coach is really good at calling defenses, huh? You're like,
Yeah.
no, I help too, you know.
Is that his English accent?
Oi, make the
Okay.
call the plays too, bruv.
So here's the final list. We're gonna rank these coaches: Sean McDermott, Mike McDaniel, Brian Daboll, Chris Shula, Josh McDaniels, and Clint Kubiak.
Yeah, Cubes.
So starting at 6, who do you have as the worst candidate from that list?
Josh McDaniels.
Okay, is it Josh McDaniels or is it Brian Daboll? Because it's one of those two.
I'm saying Josh McDaniels.
Because of his history of being a terrible dog shit bad coach.
And this is where you go, oh, Brian Daboll wasn't a good coach. McDaniel's tenure was like shorter. Remember with the Broncos, they started 7-0 and then lost like every game the rest of that year? Or was it 6-0? Because it was back when we played 16
McDaniels
games.
is one of the worst coaches to get 2 shots at the pin.
Yes. And I think there's a reason when the Colts were like, yeah, I can be our head coach. He was like, sure. But then New England was like, we'll give you an extra $5. He was like, oh, sweet. Thank God. I did not want to be a head coach.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Piss pants Josh McDaniels.
You think that's going to make him better if you start calling him that?
Oh, shit. I don't want to do that.
I feel like his weight fluctuates a lot, too. What's that about?
Oh, Zempic Josh McDaniels. Listen, man, everything's gone wrong in my life since I got rid of the piss pants Ben Johnson nickname. My bumper's gone. I burned my mouth.
Listen, I'm not doo-dooing on McDaniels completely. I have all the time in the world for him when you come to talking about good offensive coordinators.
Piss, then.
Yeah. I think he's a great offensive coordinator. I think that's what he should always be doing.
Yeah, probably. Okay, Josh McDaniels 6. Dayball 5th, or you got someone else? You really want to put Chris Shula there, don't you? You really do. I'm seeing it in your eyes. I'm looking in Mike's eyes. He wants to say Chris Shula 5th so bad.
I think Daboll got a raw deal in New York.
Because they gave all that money to Daniel Jones?
He didn't give that money to Daniel Jones.
Yeah, but he's the reason they gave all that money to Daniel Jones.
He didn't trade Saquon Barkley. He didn't waste
near
money
the
on
Joe
Jameis
show. I think they just
Winston
cut him.
and Russell Wilson to then, draft Jackson Dart. Like, this is like, it's not too dissimilar from what we just saw happen in Buffalo. Like, maybe you can make the case, yeah, Daboll should have went, but why the hell is Joe Schoen still there? I think Daboll got a raw deal. That's all I'm saying. Daboll got a raw deal.
Okay, so
Raw
you put
deal
Shula
Daboll is what we
5?
call him. I want to hear your input.
Well, I think Dayball.
Okay, fine.
Because I think that outside of one season, the Giants' offense was bad. Despite the fact they had Daniel Jones, who went to a different offensive coach and succeeded. 2 different offensive coaches, in fact, and succeeded. Okay. And in his last 2 seasons, they had a wide receiver 1. They had, according to you, a running back 1. They have some solid pieces on their offensive line.
Who got hurt?
Yeah.
Neighbors and Bo.
And this year, he kept calling plays that got his quarterback injured because his quarterback didn't know how to slide, which, if you ask me, is a coaching problem.
I think Dart wanted those plays. He was like, feed me the rock. I want to bash my head into some things. Me and Scatabo are doing a competition.
How did Daboll not have the ability to go, no?
That's fair. All joking aside. All right. You swayed me begrudgingly. Brian Daboll. 5.
Okay. Who do you have at 4?
Chris Shula.
Yeah, that's just all that coming. I'm a Shulite. I believe in the Shula. Yeah.
You're a little Shulite in the slacks, eh?
Unlike Arthur Smith. Okay, so here are your remaining top 3, and let me know how you would like to rank them. Clint Kubiak, Mike McDaniel, Sean McDermott, Dermot Mulroney.
I would say I go 3-1. I go Coobs, McDaniel, McDermott.
There's no way you would have said that before the season.
No, not at all. I don't know. You tell me. Tell me at this list who you think's a better who's a better head coach on this list than Sean McDermott right now.
No one.
Now I
no
get
one's
saying,
better. Right now
hey-
on this list, no one's a better coach than Mike. Than
Right.
Sean McDermott.
Now I can get
Yeah.
you saying, hey, I'd rather go with the first-time head coach, so I'm looking at your Shulas and your Kubiaks, and I'd be like, all right, awesome. I understand that.
Or Mike McDaniel did the most with the least of any of the guys on this list.
Mike McDaniel's an interesting case study for me because
Mhm.
there's a lot of reasons where I feel like I should be out and be like, dude, do not hire him as your head coach. But I want to see him get another shot.
Yeah, imagine him with a quarterback who could throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, you just keep seeing these weird. I don't know. It's like it's the reverse of Schoen and Dable, where it's like they didn't get rid of both people, but they got rid of the GM first. And so that kind of makes you think that there was obviously. I feel like usually if they don't go at the same time, there could have been a schism there. Like there's reports in Buffalo that Pagula and Bean didn't like that McDermott's assessment of the team was that the roster wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
even though that's correct.
Exactly. So
okay, so here's the other weird thing about Miami. They fired McDaniel late, like someone had become available that they wanted. So of course the names you link to that are Stefanski and Harbaugh, who were the two names that became available late, or Tomlin maybe.
They're both gone.
But then they end up with Hafley. So is this
That can't be who it was.
That can't be who it was. It can't be that they were like future star of the NFL, Jeff Hafley. And maybe Hafley's going to be a good coach, right? But I don't think that he did anything this year with that defense that made you say, this guy is the number one candidate on the market, and it's worth firing your who seems to be a very good offensive play caller coach for him.
Who, even though they went on a bit of a run second half of the year, yeah, they were beating all the bad teams, but at least they were winning football games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Consistently winning football games.
Yeah, so I think there's something to be said there. I can't put stock. Hafley, the name, it has the ring of this coach went 3-14 and got fired. Jeff Hafley?
This is terrible assessment. This is the start of Moneyball.
Fleet.
When they're like,
have
you seen his girlfriend? All right, Mike. And then to close out the podcast, you, as a Buffalo Bills fan, who do you want as the 33rd coach in Buffalo Bills history? I'm going to Google to see if that was correct, because that would be a sick random guess.
I don't think that's right. That could be.
That doesn't be someone from this list.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the
I have no
21st coach. The 21st coach in Bills history.
So we can go out and have a drink.
Yeah. Everyone knows that you can have a number of drinks based off how many people have been employed in your same position.
Yeah. We were hanging out because you were in town the day before he got fired, and that was my one bugaboo about doing it now is it's like, all right, well, who are we going to go out there and get?
Yeah.
And that's why I
Rex
struggle
Ryan.
to find someone. I can't really tell you as of right now who I want. I imagine Dable's going to get an interview because he has connections with Bean and the Pagulas.
I think that's already a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, that he will get an interview. Maybe that's why I was trying to lie to myself and say he got a raw deal. He deserves another shot. So I'm talking myself into that working if it happens. You know, I always prefer in these situations to go with first-time head coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe little Coobs.
Little Coobs?
Maybe little Coobs. Maybe I'm wrong. Trudel's going to be good. Maybe
Signetti?
Jesse Minter's mom signs a petition slip and he's allowed to come interview. Signetti's already said I'm not an NFL guy. I did with the Buffalo and Baltimore positions opening up at the end of the year the way they did. I did wonder if there are some college head coaches who had been rumored who said like, no, coming back if they're not like, wait, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are available. Like, I wouldn't be going to a dumpster fire?
What about Lane Kiffin?
No, I'm good.
He's great.
I would never be happy to see Marcus Freeman leave Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's coming to Buffalo.
All right, Mike, give me your definitive pick. Who do you want as the Buffalo Bills 21st head coach?
I reserve the right to change this.
Okay.
But we have a quarterback that can make up for average coaching. And Josh really likes him. So come on home, Brian Dabble. Let's give it a shot.
There you go. There you go. Brian Daboll to the Buffalo Bills. Continuing the succession of bald coaches in Buffalo. That's all I got, Mike. That's all I got this week. That's all I got. Is there anything we missed?
We check. Not seeing any breaking news. McDaniel is ex-Dolphins head coach withdraws from Cleveland search. Ravens and Raiders still possibilities.
Well, there you go. Do you
Hey,
think
is it just me?
Do you think Cleveland called him and he just put them on like the spam list? Yeah.
Well, I do remember there was something going to ask. Is it just me, or could you totally see McDermott going to Pittsburgh?
It makes sense in the mold of defensive stalwart, high floor guy. I think Pittsburgh's MO has been to hire the young up and coming guy and ride with him through his entire prime. So I would be more surprised by McDermott than Shula, because it's still the same ownership team that hired Tomlin. So I think that'll carry through. And the thought will not be, let's get a grizzled, we already know who this guy is guy. It's going to be, let's take a shot on a guy that can be here for the next 2 decades.
Okay. So I'll close out on this. So removing Buffalo, obviously, and then we'll remove Pittsburgh. Baltimore, Cleveland, Vegas, Arizona. If McDermott was going to go to one of them, your prediction is?
Arizona. It's you shift away from the thing you did last time. Like it feels like it's almost predictable how coaches or front offices will go one way with a coach, and then when that doesn't work, they'll just flip to the other way, right? I mean, you look at Miami, right? Miami went with young offensive guy, that didn't work, so they go young defensive guy, right? So I think Arizona went with first time head coach, and that didn't work, so now they're going to go with grizzled veteran coach.
Dude,
no one ever goes, well, didn't work out with Matt Nagy, we're going to fire him and hire Cliff Kingsbury.
Will Johnson and Garrett Williams in a McDermott secondary?
Mm-hmm.
They shut some shit down.
There you go.
Shut some shit down.
With that, Mike, we'll be back tomorrow doing the podcast. Do our predictions for the conference championship.
Woo!
Be back on Thursday for the stream and Friday for a baskie. You can check out all of our stuff on townalone.com. If you are listening to the audio version of this, first off, give us 5 stars. Unless it's out of 10, then give us 10 stars. And if you want to pop over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button, because we do stuff over there, don't hit the bell. Fuck the bell, man. I don't get it. Who wants push notifications for anything? So I will say this. Subscribe so we can trick YouTube into giving us money. Don't hit the bell. Don't ring that bell. Push notifications are the worst.
I like it. Now they're all going to hit the bell.
But we'll be back streaming Pokemon on Thursday. The streams are always a lot of fun. We'll be able to do a longer stream this time because I don't immediately have to go to a movie.
And he realized how a clock works.
And I realized how a clock works. With that, Mike, the way out the door here, do you want to give an Arthur Smith based shout out?
So like not Arthur Smith?
I mean, that wouldn't really be Arthur Smith based.
Dude, shout out to the Turbo Tickler, Arthur Smith's mustache.
Oh God. That was pretty good. When did you think of that?